What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, Terence Crawford addresses the steroid allegations that have been made by multiple people, multiple channels on YouTube have insinuated that Terence Crawford is on a performance enhancement type drug. And the reason why they've made that speculation is because Terence Crawford works with Victor Conte, right? Victor Conte has been pled guilty for administrating steroids, undetectable steroids, for a lot of athletes, baseball players, and track and field stars. And that was the Balco scandal that happened. So supposedly, Victor Conte is a changed man. He's been, rehabilitated, and he's on the up and up, and all he messes with is clean athletes, right? That might be the case. But in all fairness, once a cheater, always a cheater, right? That's the saying. If you had a guy that worked for Enrod and or working for a bank and they was embezzling money and they got caught doing a scandal and they did time in prison, when they get out, they're not going to be able to work around money. Not because they're going to steal, just because they got a history of doing shady things around money, and they don't want money to tempt them to fall back into their old habits. Same thing with pedophiles, right? Or sex offenders. Let's use sex offenders. They have to register as a sex offender. Some of them can't come around, be within so many feet of schools. They can't do certain things. They can't be around certain things that's going to lead them into temptation. So it's going to be natural for people to assume that a guy who has administered steroids to athletes before will probably do it again. So for Terence Crawford and his fans to assume that people are only insinuating that Terence is on steroids because he beat Earl Spence Jr. is far from the truth. The reason why they're insinuating he's on steroids is because he's working with a known steroid provider. I mean, it's just like, it's common sense. If Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao won via knockout, and after the fight, people found out that he was working with Victor Conte, what would people assume? They would assume that he's on steroids. So it has nothing to do with Terence himself. Like, oh, we just attacking Terence. Terence, my question for Terence would be, if you're so great and you're so natural, why are you working with Victor Conte in the first place? Why do you need him? Why do you need to work with a known cheater? If you so great, why do you need to work with a known cheater? Oh, Chuck, you only saying this because Earl Spence lost. Look, if you took a poll, Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr. was supposedly one of the most evenly matched fights within the last 40 years. If you would have took a poll on the census of how many people thought the fight would end, right? You could have a poll. Say you had 100%, right? You probably have 75% or 80% of people will probably say the fight's going to go to the scorecards, right? Either fighter could win. It's going to go to the scorecards because neither fighter has been knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So 75 to 80% will probably say it's going to go to the scorecards. You might have 10 or 15% that says, well, it'll go to the scorecards, but somebody's going to touch the canvas. Crawford has knocked people down in all his fights, or he has stopped people. Somebody's going to touch the canvas. Earl Spence has hurt people, dropped people. Somebody's touching the canvas this fight. What would be the percentage of people that would say Errol Spence is going to lose all 7 rounds, he's going to get dropped in the 2nd round, he's going to be stumbling all over the place, and Terence Crawford is just going to dominate him the whole fight and going to stop him in the 9th round? The ref's going to have to throw in the towel. His face is going to be disfigured like he's been in a car accident, and you ain't even going to be able to recognize Errol Spence, and people are going to say Earl going to have to hang up his gloves and retire because Terence Crawford is going to put on such a dominating performance. How many people do you think said that? 1%? 2%? So you telling me that 90% of the people that watch boxing, or 95% of people don't know what the hell they watch. Only the 5%, 2% people that saw that coming know what's going on. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. So, do you think Floyd Mayweather would have worked with a Victor Conte? Do you think Roy Jones would have worked with Victor Conte? Do you think Deontay Wilder, Gervonta Davis? Why would you want to put a stain on, even if you are clean, why would you even want to associate your success with a known cheater? That doesn't make any sense. So, he says, this is just motivation. This is just motivation. Y'all don't want me to be great. Y'all don't want to give me credit for anything. This is just motivation. I'm going to show y'all. Basically, like, I ain't cheating, but, you know, because you say I'm cheating, I'm going to show you that I ain't cheating. I'm going to beat Errol Spence again. And that might be true. But let's look at it from Earl's perspective. You catch wind that, man, I never thought about him working with Victor Conte. Man, you think he cheated me? Y'all think he was on something? Imagine what your mindset gonna be going into training camp. Thinking that this guy done got over on you. After you done did all this to make the fight happen, you done gave in to all his wants. And he goes and he does, I'm not saying Terence did it. I'm just saying the mindset that Spence could have. If he believes that maybe Terence did do something. Imagine how you're going to be training now. You're going to be ready to kill somebody. It's unfortunate that he's being accused of being on steroids if he's not on steroids. That's wrong. But he brought it upon himself by working with Victor Conte. Nobody brought that upon Terence but himself. Any athlete, Devin Haney, Andre Berto, Demetrius Andre, you working with Victor Conte, you're going to be suspected of using performance enhancement drugs. Period. I don't care who you are. Or any athlete in the UFC. You working with Victor, you're going to be under the spotlight of steroid use. That's just how that's going to come with it. That's going to come with it. Birds of a feather flock together. That's what they say. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I've already speculated that something was wrong. I think it's natural to assume something was wrong when you see a fighter that you're used to watching fight. It would have looked weird if Spence would have just dominated Terence Crawford. I was man, something didn't look right with Terence. So people are going to have questions when the fight is just so one-sidedly lopsided and dominating fashion. They're going to have questions. They're going to speculate. And when you give them evidence, when you give them things to speculate on, that's your fault. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.